Greetings, fellow nerds. Welcome back to another MTG Nerdful video where we are doing some standard Forgotten Realms standard 2022. Says standard twice. Ranked. That's right. We're always going ranked here. I always want to show you what the possibility of this deck is, whether you're playing an arena or in person. So to see more stuff like this, be sure to hit subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up, hit that notification bell so you have an easier time finding me in the future. Also live on Twitch, description down below. Be sure to give me a nice follow there. Watch me go live with some crazy shenanigans that we do. Twitch is interesting. I gotta say, you guys are a lot of fun in Twitch. You guys are you guys are crazy. But anyways, today we are playing some Gruul Haste, boys. So for the most part, this creature is based around playing haste creatures that so you know always get them for some sort of damage here, and then protecting them as best as possible. If they're able to stick on the board. So it's not full haste just because we don't actually have 2-drop haste to my knowledge. That is standard legal. I know I could play the 2/1 dinosaur, but that's not technically standard legal in paper. So I'm not playing that. But here we can we still have a lot of good stuff. So let me show you what we're working with. So we got the Goblin Javelineer. I almost failed to say that. So pretty good card in general because there are some strong cards with 1 toughness. So this guy gets to punch in really quickly. I'm only playing 3 as my 1-drop because this is more of like a mid to late game kind of deck. But it's still nice to play regardless. 2 shocks. Sometimes you just need to shock the face or maybe remove a creature that is threatening. 4 stink skills for the protection. You know I love this card. I'm always going to say Blossoming Defense might be a little bit better, but I'm not going to complain about Sting Skill. It's done just as good in a lot of cases in Standard. So for my 2-drops that aren't haste, I have a Fissure Wizard here, just for the card selection. I kind of like this card. Since we are mid to late game as well, it's nice to make sure you get your land drops as quickly as possible. And 4 Lotus Cobras is another form to get the late game drops, mid to late game drops with ramp potentially. So solid 2-drops all around. We do lose Robber of the Rich on rotation, which honestly is fine. That card was really good in a lot of aspects, and mono red needs to be nerfed, which was yesterday's video, I believe. So yeah, if you want to see mono red still perform, check that one out. We got Ranger class also has a 2-drop solid card. Makes if we have extra mana for whatever reason, it's a good way to get to level 2 and occasionally level 3, but for the most part we're just jumping to level 2. 3 Arnie's, good card. We do have big creatures, so the boast ability is pretty solid here. 2 Hulking Bugbears, just another 3 mana 3 power haste. Relic Robber is also here as well. You know, if we're able to punch in for even 1 or 2 Goblin Constructs that pings the opponent, we're in a really solid position. Goldspan Dragon, so you'll notice that we don't have a 4-drop. I was thinking about playing the Flying Haste Phoenix, but I thought he was a little too expensive. And since we're trying to do damage as quickly as possible, I thought it's okay to skip the 4 mana cost. But we have Goldspan Dragon, great card, as we all know, really solid. 2 Froghemoths. I was debating not putting these, but I do like the trample ability, and sometimes even if it gets control, gaining life can be important. 2 Inferno the Star Mounts. This is one of our 6-drops. Good card, can't be countered, solid, love it. Vorinclex is also here because Vorinclex. No other explanation is necessary. And then for our lands, we've got 12 Mountains, 10 Forest, and 2 Laser of the Hydras. Probably my favorite land creature so far. So let's bring this in, see how this deck does. I'm a big fan of this deck just because like it just provides a form of pressure in one way or another. We're usually getting in for a good amount of damage. We're gonna go ahead and keep this. No 1-drop, but that's okay. We're not all in on the 1-drop, so it kind of works out. Anyway, we have the mana to cast the Bugbear as well. I represent my country with the Korean flag. Gotta rep. Although, like, honestly, I should probably be able to speak it better. But I don't, because I didn't listen to my parents. Listen to your parents, kids. I could have been a lot better at speaking Korean if I listened to my parents, but I didn't. Alright, so we'll start off with Lotus Cobra. I'm starting to remove Lowe's Cobra because I don't mind the Lowe's Cobra being removed, knowing that we have our lands anyway. And we just drew a second one, so that's pretty nice. So, bam, 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 boom. And next turn we can actually play the Ranger class and level up. So it'll be really nice here in general, because that'll make our creatures coming in with haste really strong all of a sudden. So, yeah, can't complain about that. So I'm gonna set this for green. And the reason I'm doing that is so that I can level up. Very, very important that we do that. And here we do get to attack in. So we guaranteed 3 damage. And the reason I did do it this way, I know he gets to still keep the Skullport Merchant, but he was going to block whatever was the bigger, smaller creature anyway. So this way, when I do attack, the blocks are a little bit more difficult. Ooh, Tigrid is here. This is going to be very interesting indeed. I did not expect a Tigrid. So, that being said, oh man, I would have loved an extra mana for the... So, how do I want to do this? I can still provide some form of pressure. The question is, how do I want to do this? So the reason I'm doing this, I know I'm going to lose a creature regardless, but it allows me to provide some form of pressure or another. I suspect the Relic Robber is going to die here, but that is okay. I just want to be able to always provide some form of pressure. That's how we're going to win. Sacrifices do have to be made in that regard. And once we draw a land, Golden Dragon will be able to put in some serious work here. So I would have loved to play the Golden Dragon, but it was not meant to be. Oh, yikes. All right, you may have a Lotus Cobra. Man, Tigrid was not a card I suspected to see. It's been kind of a card that like goes on and off depending what opponents want to play. But oh boy, that is actually very important. We're just 1 mana short of doing anything we need to just to provide some form of pressure, but that is alright. I'm going to attack with everything here. And we'll put the counter on the 3/3. So we'll hold up the shock, which is nice. Okay. I think this is pretty solid. You get to kill everything there. Hopefully this works out. The opponent's also going to start down. Okay. So far so good. We're doing good. The shock was actually a card I didn't mind seeing at all. So that kind of worked out really well there. Tigrid's Lantern. Oh. I mean, I'll lose to 3 life. I'm at 20. I'm surprised he didn't just play the Tigrid. I wonder what the reasoning was behind for that. There's the land. This might just do it. Put it on one of the bugbears. Yeah, I was surprised he didn't just play the Tigrid. Wonder what the reasoning was behind that. But anyways, we get the victory there. Again, it is okay to lose some creatures in this deck, even if the trade is not favorable, because you're applying pressure in one form or another. This deck is very... you don't have to think very much, you just have to figure out where the sacrifices are. For the most part, you are swinging in every turn, just making sure the opponent feels pressure. This is a great hand. Got a 1/2/3 drop. We have a late game drop as well. So yeah, I'm loving this. As this is probably as good as our hand gets for the most part. So I can block here, or I can attack here, and the opponent's well aware of the situation, so good on them to not block, because they would just trade and they lose a creature that ramps. So let's see what their 2-drop is. I would suspect a Mr. Werewolf. That's usually going to be the case. So this is... Now we're in a bit of trouble because the werewolf is a really good blocker against our deck. So we are definitely in some form of trouble. Because I can cast Mr. Relic Robber, but he actually won't be able to do a whole lot. So we are in some trouble here. Werewolf Pack Leader was the fantastic 2-drop that they needed. Mono Green is the deck to look out for. This is what I'm climbing right now in Twitch. I actually got with it to Diamond recently, but it's a great card to get into with for standard ranked. It's one of the best archetypes. It's the deck everyone's looking out for. I've said this in my last video. If you're thinking about building this deck, do it as soon as possible. The cards are ridiculously cheap. Like, I am so baffled at how cheap the cards are. Oh. We will have to shock here. He does play Snakeskin Veil. I appreciate that because I'm a huge fan of that card as well, as most of you know if you've been watching me on Twitch, or even see my mono green video. Yeah, but buy the cards now. They're actually dropping, which I think is insane. I no idea why. No idea why. But all right, so this is why I want to limit myself to 1-drops, because when you draw them mid to late game, they don't do a whole lot. They're kind of just there at this point. They're not going to really be able to do a whole lot. I suspect that he has some form of... I'm going to block with everything. Because if he has the Snakeskin Veil, at least the trade will happen? Okay, there we go. Eska's Chariot, fantastic card. I love Eska's Chariot. Yeah, that card is also going up in value. Holy moly. And we drew our third Goblin Javelin here. What are the odds? Very low, but it happens. It happens. I did not expect it for both of them to be stacked on each other, though. That was a little surprising. Oh, boy. Alrighty here. So now we've got the Eska's Chariot to worry about, which will also create another 2/2. So we are not looking so hot. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, we're dead. We're dead. We're dead. I mean, I really don't know how to get out of this. We draw a land, but it is no good here, so yeah, on mono green, it's a deck. I'm playing that on standard when I climb the standard ranked ladder. It's just so good right now. It's ridiculously good, and if you play it correctly with the Snakeskin Veil, like the opponent did there, you can climb up very quickly, in fact. So yeah, I'm not surprised I lost to it because I win with it a good amount of times. So there you go. Bushin style number 6. Kage Bushin no Jutsu. Ooh, this hand is tough. I don't like to keep 2-land hands because I've recently found out in Arena that you could get screwed. I'm gonna send this to the bottom. Oh goodness, I'm not sure if this hand's much better, but we'll send Vorinclex to the bottom. Oh, I actually should have played the shock, and then I could have played the because oh well, okay, so shock doesn't come down here anyway, so it's all good. Ooh, lots of land. I didn't want to multi 5, so I guess the first hand would have been worth keeping. I don't really know, to be honest. It's hard to say. Thank you for getting rid of 2 more lands. My goodness, but I would have liked to keep the Lotus Cobra. That would have been nice. Okay, so I have seen. Oh my goodness, my next draws were awful. He's just flexing on me a little bit. I appreciate that, and he's gonna pay for that. Actually, he's gonna pay for the flex. He pays for the flex. How ironic. Got a little confident there, eh? Mr. Bushin style. Got a little confident. I'm gonna have to smack you down a little for that. But I am getting milled, but oh, I lost another Relic Robber. I would have loved that personally, but it's okay. Okay. Is that colorless? Which makes sense if you're gonna foretell, so not a bad plan. And He still attacks, knowing that I have a Relic Robber? Sir. Alright, so I can make this... Make this 2 mana? I sure can. Okay. I mean, I like what's happening here. Maybe this guy goes the distance. Maybe Goblin Construct goes the distance. Expressive Iteration, great card. Finds the land that he'll need. Can probably still hold up the Saw Coming in his hand. I may have to run into it anyway. I am being milled, but I'm being milled cards I don't mind. Oh, it was actually a Beholder Multiverse. Okay, so I was wrong, but he's casting it now, which means I do get to cast the Goldspan Dragon next turn, so that's another form of pressure. I wonder if he still attacks. He learns his lesson. I am just drawing lands to Kingdom Come. That's a problem. But drawing lands isn't the worst either because the Hydra gets bigger on attacks. So it's both good and bad. Obviously, I would like to not draw lands as a Gruul Haste deck, but this is okay. Okay, there goes my creature. So hopefully now we start hitting our heavy beaters. So we're about to find out in a moment. Just oh, that's but he's gonna hit most of my high drops now because I haven't seen them. So that was actually not bad. That could have been a lot worse, honestly. You can't block with that. Okay, so he decided the crab is not worth it. Oh, am I gonna get milled out here? Does he have another Dual Strike Tasha's Hideous Laughter? That would be... That's an interesting mill deck. I'm not getting milled for 3 now. Alright, does he have it? Oh boy. I don't do it. Now I still have the Hydra, the Layer of Hydra. Again, Layer of Hydra is, I think, the best one of the creature lands that we got from Forgotten Realms. Oh, he's looking at Goldspan Dragon. Okay. So it looks like he wants to get rid of our Goldspan Dragon here. I don't think that helps him all that much. Mainly because I have the Layer of Hydra. Yeah, and he's tapped out. I think we have this, no? Yeah, I would say so. Well, that was fun, but unfortunately Tasha's Hideous Laughter wasn't that effective because you only milled my high drops, which is both good and bad, but I guess in this case it was good. With another Arnie, that doesn't help us out, but yeah. Bada bing, bada boom. Just apply pressure, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna get in for one more game here. Or do I end on a dub? Do I be selfish? No, I'll get in for one more game. I don't want to be... It's good to be as realistic as possible. Because this deck definitely has its weaknesses. As we saw, mono green. Great way to slow down the deck because the 2-mana Werewolf Pack Leader... Oh, that card is so good. It is ridiculously good. It is just amazing. By any standard, really. It's just that good of a card. Because, I mean, 2-mana 3/3, already good. And then it has 2 upsides. Like, what? Hello? Who would not want to play that? Like, even if you're, like, 2-color, like, if you're Gruul, like, you would want to play that. Now, the reason I'm not playing it in this deck as a Gruul deck is because I'm playing Hasty Boys. I'm playing the Hasty Boys, you know? So the reason this is a tough decision right now, I like Visual Wizard of the card selection. We have to discard first. I'm gonna discard the land. I know it's risky, but I think it's the wrong play because I just drew a Goldspan Dragon. Fudge me. But that's okay. I'm okay with whatever decisions I make. I have to live and learn, and I'm learning. Silver Core Silencer. My goodness. That is not a card I expected to see. It's a card I haven't seen in quite some time. Great card though. 3/2, 2 upsides. Really good card. Oh, he thinks we're... Oh, we don't play that card. No, no, no. We don't play that card. So he trades with the Relic Robber here. But again, the fact that we're always applying pressure is extremely important. We're going to start to slow down a little bit. But... Oh, especially with the Skyclave operation. Great play from our opponent. They get a 2-for-1 here. Alright, so turns out we should have gotten rid of our Snakeskin Veil. That was my second thought as well. I just wasn't quite convinced because I love the Snakeskin Veil, but turns out that was the right play to do. Oh, right, it has Death Touch on his turn, right? Ah. Okay. So he probably trades with the Relic Robber again, but... That is a solid card. Is it a cleric? Oh, okay, it's not. I was like, why? Oh, so she's playing Orzhov Good Stuff. Okay, so he's playing He's playing Orzhov Good Stuff with Venture. Okay, I kind of like that. So I would love to play a Goldspan Dragon anytime. Alright, so turns out that discarding a land, never a good idea. Don't do it. Don't do it, guys. Just keep the land, especially if you're playing mid to late game drops. Just lose the Snakeskin Veil. It's worth it. It's not that good of a card. I mean, it is a good card, but... I'm gonna see if I can trade with this guy. That is somewhat unfortunate. I'm gonna lose the token. Oh, non-token permanent. Okay, wait, that's not as bad as I thought. That's bad. I'm gonna go ahead and scoop here. We're just too far behind a little bit. So I got greedy is what happened. I did not need to keep the second Snakeskin Veil. So I'm gonna actually get in for one more game. Because I do want to play an actual game. Definitely learning. I want to also learn how to predict Arena's draws a little bit. And what should have tipped me off a little bit is that I actually didn't have many lands to start with. And it might have been foolish for me to assume that I could just draw into my late game drop. So don't assume that. This hand is very keepable. And usually speaking, you want to keep to a 3-mana hand. A 2-land hand can be very risky. Especially if you're like depending on your 3 to 4 drops and then you just never draw the land, which happens. Good amount of times I might add. So normally I would play the Lotus Cobra, but here because I have 2 armies, I don't really value 2 armies right now. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of one of them. I don't see the need for 2, and I love the fact that I just drew into my 4th land. So that's actually really good in our situation. Deadly Dispute is like the new Village Rites, except you could still play Village Rites to my knowledge, no? I believe you can. So he's probably going to play the 2 1/1s here. They're both good. I can still play the Arnie and apply some pressure here, which I like. Okay, cool. So here we've gotten all... I'm going to play the Arnie just to apply some pressure. I know he probably trades with the 2-1, but the 2-1's already done his job. So the 5th land is good because now most late game drops I draw at this point I will be able to cast. So, yeah, we're doing great, I would say. I think I can't complain about the situation at all. Bloodchief's Thirst is here, as suspected. Perfect. He got in for the 1 damage. That's exactly what I wanted. Because now I get to cast a Relic Robber. And now I get to apply some pressure down. And hold up the Sinking Veil, more importantly. Like, that is super important. So, drawn our Lair of Hydra, also a really good card in the late game when everyone's kind of done playing their shenanigans. Ooh, Deadly Dispute. What a way to play Deadly Dispute. Wow. I did not assume I would not have assumed he had a second one. So, that is, that was unfortunate. But it was alright nonetheless. I mean, nice play from the opponent, just not something. And a Grim Warlock! Wow, this guy got so much value out of my own Relic Robber for... Oh my goodness. This is incredible to watch. I respect so much of what is happening right now. Wow. Wow, 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 and wow. Okay, so we've drawn our Sinking Veils, we've drawn a lot of our good stuff. So I guess discarding the Arnie was the incorrect choice, but I'm happy with this because now we have 6 lands, so we can play any creature from our deck. So we're solid in that aspect, which I really like. Opponent might be running out of steam as well. I say that, and they just played in front of the Star Mounds. Ooh, this opponent is in heaven. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Gotta respect the play. Gotta respect the play. I'm gonna Snakeskin Veil right here. And trade. I don't think the Lotus Cobra helps us all that much at this point. We have all the mana we will ever need. We are in Manaville. So, and we draw another land. Oh boy, I don't think we can stop the 6/6 flyer. So, the game is theirs. Alright. So, does this deck have its weaknesses? Of course it does. Every deck has its weakness. We might need to think... I might consider putting in more mid and taking out some of our late game drops. Maybe we're playing too many late game drops. Maybe we're playing too many lands even. Not really sure what... but if you guys have any suggestions, be sure to leave in the comments down below. Hopefully you found this video to be super helpful. You know, all that good stuff. So, again, follow me here. Like, subscribe, notification bell. Follow me on Twitch. All the shenanigans that happen over there as well. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Right now up top, YouTube is showing a video of my most recent upload, and right below that is a video that YouTube thinks you specifically like, so go ahead, check those videos out, explore their channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you for the next refill.